Our extension today is we are going to be solving for an unknown dimension. So let's say that we know what the volume is, and we know what the width is, we know what the length is, but we don't know what the height is. So we're going to be able to solve for that. Or let's say we need to solve for the height on a cylinder or the radius on a cylinder, given that we know the volume. All right. These are known as an unknown dimension. So an unknown length, width, or height. Okay, so we're going to learn how to solve for those. All right, your first step is we are going to select the correct formula given what shape we're dealing with and what we are given. So on problem 1, we are dealing with a rectangular prism. We are given the volume. So we need to use the formula for volume of a rectangular prism. So I always write that down first. We have volume equals length times width times height. After you figure out what formula we're going to use and you write it down, we are going to substitute values into the formula. So we know that the volume is 455. So instead of writing V, we're going to write that instead of V. Instead of writing length and width, L and W, we're going to plug in 5 and 13. It doesn't matter which one you plug in for which one, and then we're basically going to use X for H. So I wrote it like this. Now, if I wanted to, I could have also written it like this. 455 equals 5 times 13 times X. All right? Both of these are the same thing. It's just I wrote my 455 on the other side of the equal sign because I like having my X on the left. Okay? I think you guys do too. You tend to like that better, but both of these are the same thing. So again, instead of V, I wrote what the volume is. For length and width, I plugged in the 5 and the 13, and then we're solving for the height, which is X. So after we plug in those values, we substitute those values, we're going to solve for X, our unknown dimension. The first step in solving for X here is do 5 times 13. 5 times 13, oops, let me get rid of that guy. 5 times 13 is 65. So now we have 65X equals 455. And now we want X by itself. What do we do to both sides? Well, that's multiplication. We're going to divide by 65. All right, divide both sides by 65. We get X by itself. And on the right-hand side, we get 7. Because 455 divided by 65 gives us 7. And it's going to be X is 7 yards. Okay? Let's look at the next one. All right, this time we have a cylinder. We are given the volume of that cylinder. So we are going to our formula. We will use volume of a cylinder. So I write that formula down. Volume equals pi radius squared times the height. My next step, I'm going to plug in those values into the formula. Again, instead of writing the volume first, I'm going to put it on the other side, okay? But we could have the volume first also. So I'm going to have, oh my gosh, 3.14 for pi. Instead of writing pi, I write 3.14. And then this is where we need to be careful. They gave us the diameter. We need the radius for this formula. The diameter is 6, the radius is half of that, so our radius is 3. So it's going to be pi times 3 squared times the height. The height is what we're solving for, which is h, which is our x. So 3.14 times 3 squared times x equals this given volume. Okay? From here, I wrote down my formula, I plugged in my values, now I'm going to start solving. First, guys, I need to fix this, okay? My first step is I'm going to do my exponent. 3 squared. is going to be 9. So now I have 3.14 times 9 times x still equals that. Now I'm going to multiply 3.14 times 9. We get 28.26x now equals da 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 da. And now from here we need to solve for x. What am I going to do to both sides? Yeah, we're going to divide both sides by 28.26. So divide both sides. What do we get? We're going to get x equals 10, and our units, the height, 10 centimeters. So our height of the cylinder is going to be 10. All right. I'm going to do one more problem with you. I'm going to do another cylinder since they tend to be a little bit more extra work. Let's look at number 5. So again, we have a cylinder. We're given the volume. So we need to use our volume formula for a cylinder. So volume equals pi r squared h. I'm going to plug in my values. All right, we have pi is 3.14. They gave us the radius this time. Our radius is 2.5. It needs to be squared times the height. The height is our unknown. So leave it as x, and then that equals the given volume up here. All right, and we're going to leave it exactly as it is. If they gave it to us like that, then we need to use it like that. From here, we're going to start solving for x. Let's square our radius first. So 2.5 squared in your calculator gives us 6.25. Next, we need to multiply. Okay, 3.14 times 6.25 gives us that 19.625. X equals da 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 da. And next, we need to get x by itself, all right? We're going to, that's multiplication, so we divide both sides by that 19.625 to get x alone. In your calculators, what do you get? We should get 5.7. That's the height of the cylinder. The height of the cylinder is 5.7, and it's millimeters. All right. Once you feel confident, you're going to do number 4, number 7, and number 8, okay? Number 8. This is extraneous information right here. Basically, they're just trying to determine the height of a new can. We don't even need that, all right? So don't get tricked. They just want the new height, or they want the height of the new can, all right? And then check your answers if you need to before moving on to the back. The back, you're going to do 2 more, and then the rest is going to be, what did I just do? The rest is going to be a little review, so find surface area, volume, and then some more review. This one is going to be a little tricky. It'll make you think, but you got this. All right? Good luck.